Hello and welcome to my stamp studio. It is Wednesday, October 11th, and it is Hump Day. So welcome to my Hump Day lunch break. Hope you all have grabbed something to eat and are ready to be a little entertained. I am just getting my Facebook account set up here. So I'm just trying to see if everyone's there. So if you are joining, please say hi. Let me know. If you're watching the replay, just type replay in the comments. Love to know what you think about it. If you're watching this on YouTube, just say replay on YouTube on the comments. And everything that I'll be using today will be in the description below for YouTube, and Facebook. It'll be in the comments section. So I'm just going to, my goodness, it's taking forever to get loaded here. Let me just try something else. And let's see if my iPad here will let me see everything going on. Oops, that's not what happened. Oh my goodness. It's not updating anything here. What is going on? Facebook changed the way they're doing things again, so it's just taking me a moment. I apologize. Normally I have it going. Here we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. Have it going. Here we go. Here we go. So again, say hi. Let me know that you can see the comments and everything. Well, I mean, let me know that you can see the feed, because right now I can't see any of it. Okay, so we're going to be playing around with our Pick of the Patch bundle. So this bundle is a, ooh, I almost dumped over my Diet Coke. It is a punch and a stamp set. So we'll be using this today to make a fun little treat. And I just realized I don't have my treat up here. Oh my goodness. Hold please. I have to run down and get it. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's our fun little treat. Sorry about that. I had taken it downstairs so I could write up my little project sheet, and I had left it down there. So I'm going to show you how to make this quick little treat today. It's just a fun way to give a piece of candy. And the candy I have in here, and actually it's kind of snug in there, is a Reese's Peanut Butter Pumpkin. But you can put any sort of candy in there. Okay, we are going to start with a piece of black, basic black, which is 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. I have a piece of Designer Series paper, which happens to be from the Them Bones Designer Series paper that is in our September to December mini catalog. And this is 2 5/8 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to bring in my, well, I thought I had my trimmer here. I think I left that downstairs too. Okay. So, instead of trimmer, we're just going to use our Score Pal here, scoring tool. And I am just going to take my black here, and I'm going to score this at 3/4 of an inch, 2 inches, 3 1/2, and 4 3/4. All right. So it was at 3 3/4, 2, 3 1/2, and 4 3/4. That's all the scoring that we need to do on this. Quick and easy projects. You could actually take a larger piece of cardstock. If you're going to be making multiples, that's probably what I would do. I'd take a full sheet and go ahead and do my scoring. That way I can have several at a time. I'm just going to kind of bend these a little bit. And the next thing I do is grab my Seal Plus here. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. What is your favorite Halloween candy? I don't know. I like Twix, and I like Kit Kat, and I like Snickers. I am a caramel girl. more so than a chocolate girl. The ones I hate, though, are those ones in the little black and orange wrapper. You know which ones I'm talking about. They got the funky little filler. Blah. Just don't like this. Okay, so I went ahead and just put my designer series paper right on here. It just makes it easier to work with, so I don't have to worry about doing it later. And then I'm just going to go along all my little score lines here and just kind of redo them. I'm not pressing really hard. I just want to get it a little bit bent, so I don't really need my bone folder right now. So we're going to connect these two ends here, these 3/4 inch, and we're going to adhere them together. Now, here's a tip that I have. Put your Reese's peanut butter cup in ahead of time. Reason being, it's kind of hard to slide in. So this one got mushed because I had adhered it all together, and I realized that I hadn't done that. All right. So, and what you can do is just, you can tuck this in. Now, these don't, once this is glued, they really don't fall out. So you really don't have to worry about them sliding out, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab my liquid glue. And I'm going to grab a couple of my little clothespins here. My little mini clothespins. Love these for projects. And I'm just going to put some liquid glue right here. If you're really worried about this sliding out, put a little glue dot underneath your candy. But like I said, this holds up pretty well. All right, so now I'm just going to take those two and put them together. And I want this to hold. Now, you could use a strong adhesive. I like to use a liquid glue because it's actually pretty fast to do it. You just got to clip it while while it's drying. It only takes a few seconds. I just leave it on while I'm stamping. All right, next I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some strips of basic white. Now, these are just thin strips. I didn't really measure them, maybe 1.25 inches. But what I need to think about is which direction I'm going to stamp my pumpkins in, because I need to slide in my paper. So if I slide it in this way, what's going to happen is I'm going to be punching some other pieces out. But I can slide it this way, and I can keep punching my pumpkins out as needed. Now, for the smaller pumpkin, I'm going to do it this way. All right. So I'm going to leave my punch up like this. So this is one tip I always have. I like to have my punch face upside down. That way I know which direction I need to stamp and slide it in. So let's go with this. And I have my everything pulled out already, actually. So I've got my pumpkin pie. We're just going to be using pumpkin pie and black memento. So we really don't have a lot of ink involved. Okay, so here's one. And then I'm going to stamp it off because I want a little bit lighter pumpkin. And now for this one, I need to stamp my pumpkin in. Oh, that's not going to work very well, is it? Oh, I'm going this way. I'm like, why did that work earlier? All right. Okay, so I have my two here. Now, I also have a 1/2 inch strip, and I am going to use another color. I had lied. We're going to be using pecan pie. Pumpkin pie, pecan pie, the whole fall kind of thing. All right, and I am just going to go ahead and stamp my little stem on this 1.5 inch strip. Now, if you look at which way my little stem gets punched, I need to make sure that I'm stamping it in that direction, all right? So when I turn this around, I want to stamp it. And I have 3 pumpkins here, so I'm just going to stamp my 3 right there. Close that up. All right, so let's get punching here. So I'm just going to slide that in and just punch it. Now, I've already done some of these already, so I'm not going to do all those. I've got some right here. And I'm going to take my pumpkins here. I'm going to slide those in. Now, some people like to actually punch first and then stamp, so they don't have to worry about lining it up. It's your preference. Now, I did find that I do have to trim this off, though, when I want to slide this piece in. I do like leaving a little bit of extra so that I have like a handle to move this around. If I don't have a little extra and I have like a single piece like this, I take a Post-it note and put it on there so that I can hold it and that way I can line it up better. All right, so let's get rid of those pieces. So we have our 2 pumpkins, and I need a pumpkin here. And I'm just going to punch this out ahead of time because you know what? Why waste a stamped pumpkin, right? I'm not going to use that one. I really want this one. All right, I'm just lining it up and punching that out. Okay, so that's it for that punching. Now, I want to come back in with my little face. So we have a little jack-o'-lantern face here, and my Memento Black. I have definitely found with this photopolymer step that you really do need to have a cushion underneath your work surface there. So when you stamp, you get a fully inked image. I have found several times when I have stamped that if I don't do that, that image just doesn't stamp quite nice. All right, so put our little pumpkin face on there. All right, so now the next thing I want to do is I have a little 3/4 inch by 2.5 inch strip, and I'm going to take my Happy Halloween, since I'm making Halloween treats, and I'm going to stamp that on this end here. I'm not going all the way to the end because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my Happy Label Pick-a-Punch, and I'm going to use these kind of edges to give my tag a little bit more, I don't know, character. So I'm going to slide this in and punch that. I'll turn it around and I'll slide this one in. Now this piece just barely gets in there, all right? So when you're sliding it through, get it in those grooves so it's lined up correctly. There we go. Punch it and then slide that out. Anything smaller than 2.5 inches is going to be really kind of tough. But again, use your Post-it notes and you can slide that in further. All right, so let's get building our front of our little treat box here. Get the scraps out of the way. I don't need this here anymore. All right, so I'm going to pull in, well, I might just use the 1 pumpkin. I'm going to go ahead and bring this over. I'm going to take my liquid glue and just put a dot. And oh my gosh, is that getting messy? And I'll attach my stem right there. Okay, give that a moment or two to dry. I'm going to go ahead and put a dimensional on my tag right here. All right. And I need to put a little stem on my pumpkin, which I've already done here. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this little pumpkin behind my little banner here. So I'll take some liquid glue and maybe I'll zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see it better. Make sure I'm in focus here. And I'll put a little bit of liquid glue right there. And I'll put that right, not quite centered, but close to center. Right there, just like that. It doesn't matter if it's a little crooked. It adds character. I'm going to take my jack-o'-lantern here and put that right on the front. All right. I'm going to bring back in my box. Now, on my original sample, I had a, I punched a hole and tied a piece of ribbon on there. You don't necessarily have to do that. So I'm going to show you what this one looks like without the ribbon, because it is still a really cute little design. And we'll go ahead and just going to use another dimensional here and here. Just like that. And we'll put it right on the front of our treat. Okay. So there you go. So quick little treat, quick little fun way to give a fun little Halloween treat. And you can make this for any occasion. Just change up whatever stamp set you have there. Okay, so now what's coming up this week? So tomorrow night, Stampin' Fun and More, we're going to be doing some more treats because it is treat season. You know, Halloween, we give a lot of treats out, but even for Thanksgiving and Christmas, I like to give treats out for that as well. So we'll have some more treats coming up. I'll probably be doing mostly fall theme, but you can adapt any of them to any other holiday. Here is one of the other little treat things that we'll be making tomorrow night. So Stampin' Fun and More at 6:44 on My Stamp Studio on Facebook. It will be copied up to YouTube, and you'll be able to watch it there as well. So take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy Hump Day. And we will see you tomorrow night. Bye.